I come in last night about 10:30. That baby of mine wouldn't let me in. Move it on over, rock it on over, move over, little dog. A mean old dog is moving in. Told me not to mess around, but I don't let the deal go down. So move it on over, rock it on over, move over, nice dog. Big fat dog is moving. Change the lock on my back door. Now my key won't fit no more. Move it on over, rock it on over, move over, nice dog. A mean old dog is moving in. She threw me out just as pretty as she pleased. Pretty soon I'll be scratching fleas. Move it on over, slide it on over, move over, nice dog. A mean old dog is moving in. Listen to me, dog, before you start to whine. That side yours and this side's mine. Move it on over, rock it on over, move over, little dog. A big old dog is moving in. Change the lock on my back door. Now my key won't fit no more. So move it on over, rock it on over, move over, little dog. A big old dog is moving in. Move it on over, move it on over, move it on over. Oh, won't you walk it on over? Move over, little dog. A hot dog is moving in. All right, move it on over. A song originally written by Hank Williams way back in 1947. If you're like me, you know it more familiarly from the George Thorogood and the Destroyers hit version in 1978. Either way, it's a fun song. And I played that song straight off the chord charts of the Morristown Uke Jam. So check out that video link, download the free ukulele chord sheet, and you can play Move It On Over. And if you're going to be in Morristown, New Jersey, on the first Wednesday of every month, hey, come on out to the Morristown Uke Jam. It's a great time. Bring your uke. You'll have a great time, too. All right, so again, that was Move It On Over, an old country song from Hank Williams that George Thorogood turned into a hit rock song in 1978. Now that I've played it through, I'll take you through the chords involved in this song. I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the strumming styles I did there. And I'll also, if you just finish watching this, you'll know that probably the trickiest part of this song is what's in the turnaround. That's called when you transition from the one verse to the next one. So, everything else here was pretty straightforward, just chord. But then at the end it goes. I'll show you that transition, but I'll also discuss a couple simpler options. If this is more than you, if that's more than you feel like taking on, there's a couple other options I'll talk about with you. Okay, so let's start with the chords. The first chord that appears in this song is a G. 0, 2, 3, 2. The next one is a C seventh. Nice, simple one finger chord. 0, 0, 0, 1. The next chord that appears is a D, and it appears in two ways. You probably are all very familiar with this D. 2, 2, 2, 0. But if you are going to play that turnaround that I talked about, you'll be much better off playing this D. 7, 6, 5, 5. I mean, most of you know the B flat chord, right? Way down here. Not involved in this song, but it's a 3, 2, 1, 1. Well, this is the same fingering, just up here. 7, 6, 5, 5. So if you are going to do the turnaround, you're probably going to want to play this chord. The next chord that appears, we already talked about the C seventh, but there's also a regular C, 0, 0, 0, 3. And again, if you're going to play the turnaround, you're going to want to, that same thing I just talked about with the D, just down here, 5, 4, 3, 3, that's a C. And that turnaround has a couple other chords that aren't in the regular verse. One is a G seventh. We already talked about G, 0, 2, 3, 2. Well, C, G seventh is 0, 2, 1, 2. That's a G7, 0, 2, 1, 2. That turnaround also has a C minor. Now, a proper C minor is 5, 3, 3, 3, where I use the index finger to cover these three strings, and then the ring finger covers the fifth fret, so it's 5, 3, 3, 3. Now, I didn't really play a proper C minor when I did that quick transition. The reason is it goes by so quickly that watch what I did. I went from the turnaround, and I'll go in more detail on the turnaround, but just to talk about the C minor, it was, I just did that. Did a simple, because it's so quick. The turnaround goes G, G seventh, C, and then I just did this. I just skipped this fourth string and just played these three strings for that one little quick strum, and then went on to the rest of the chords. So it's up to you if you want to do, if you're doing the turnaround, if you want to do the full one, that's fine. But I did a little bit of a cheat there because it's a quick move and it's only one strum. So that's the C minor I played. The last chord that appears, and again, this is in the turnaround, it's also very quick, is a C sharp. We've already talked about the D. We've talked about the C. Well, there's a very quick strum of a C sharp, which is halfway between 6, 5, 4, 4. So let's talk about that turnaround now. This is how the turnaround goes. G seventh, C, that C minor that, again, I use this little cheater 3-string C minor, and then, see, that's the reason why I showed you this shape, because it's the same shape. D, C, C sharp, D. So that's why I didn't suggest using this D, and this D is in where you're going to go for the C sharp. Your red row just holding on to this shape. So that's the turnaround if you want to use those chords. Now, if that's something you don't want to work on or really, because again, it's pretty fast, a lot of very quick chord changes there. There's a couple options. One option is to do single notes. Watch this. And this is charted on your sheet. If you from the Morristown, you can start with 2 notes on the third for the. So that's a way to do it, the whole thing on one string. So if you're playing the verse. Move over, little dog, mean old dog is moving in. Instead of. So that's a little bit simpler. Now, there's a third option, even simpler. If that whole transition is something you don't want to bother with, you can just do it this way. Watch this. I come in last night about 10:30. That baby of mine wouldn't let me in. Move it on over. Rock it on over. Move over, little dog. A mean old dog is moving in. Just stay on the G during that whole G. Da, 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 da. And just go to the D at the end. So if you don't want to bother with or, you can just da, 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 D, G, D, D. That's a simpler way, and the song will still sound good if you don't want to get involved in the transition. Okay. Now that we've talked about that transition, which is, again, by far the trickiest part of the song, if you choose to take it on, the other thing I want to talk to you about is how I strum the song. If you notice, I didn't just go, I come in last night about 10:30. Instead of just strumming the G, I was doing this. Off the D, it's called toggling. So using my pinky on and off on this 4th fret of the 3rd string. And then when I got to the C7th chord, I did the same thing. And here, I'm holding the C, and I'm on the 4th string. Now, I happen to choose a low G uke for this. I like this being sort of a bass note. But if you, as most of you, have high G ukes, that's fine. Just it's going to be an octave higher, right? Sounds fine. And then when it gets to the D, hold the D chord, and then toggle on the 4th fret of the 4th string. Again, I use the low G uke, so it just makes this note low. So that's just to sort of mimic the feel of the at least the George Thorogood version with that sort of rockin'. And then of course to the turnaround. Or and of course that third option. So choose your option. You got 3 options for how to play that turnaround. Otherwise the song is pretty straightforward and it's a lot of fun to play, and I think you'll have fun playing it too.